Right, hello everybody and welcome to the Cone Racing League. We are here today for Tier 2 Round 4 at Monza, and I will later be joined by Rotation. However, for the moment he's stuck on a train, or assume he's got that train. So for now you're stuck with just me, but drivers have been told to ready up, so we'll be starting fairly soon. Although while we are waiting, have a quick look at the race preview. So you can see, been raced quite a few times here at CRL. Raced in Season 1, current lap record held by Jerome way back Season 4 on F1 2020. And, ooh, what has just happened? I think my game is glitched. We're off to a good start here. So yeah, okay, seems everyone's having technical issues, but while we're waiting for that to all be sorted, I will mention we've got two reserve drivers today. One of them being Nolsey replacing DeRoy in the Williams, and the other one, Big Balls, replacing Marty in the Aston Martin. Yeah, going to be delayed a little bit further. So while that is all going on, we will have a look at the current standings heading into this race, and you can also see results from last week. So Carl winning last race, but currently only sitting 4th in the championship. It's only 6 points gained prior to his win. So he'll be looking to have another good race here. So when he seems to do fairly well in qualifying, but doesn't always hook it together in the race. Leo is still holding the lead in the championship, though I believe he's driving on wheel, whereas he'd normally use pad. But being Monza, that does put him at an advantage, so we will see where that ends up for him. Right, okay, and the new lobby now looking like they're getting it up and running, so hopefully the race can be started fairly soon. In the meantime, have a closer look. So it is 30 points for a win, as you can see on the race results from last week. So actually no driver miles and miles ahead. Theoretically, any of 5 drivers could leave here, leaving the championship, but the order really can be shaken up. After 4 rounds, 18 of the 20 full-time drivers do have points. Bear in mind, only top 12 get points per race. Slightly different point system to F1 itself. Yeah, I think the majority of the drivers now here. I think we're rating on 3 more. I believe we have a full grid, which is good news. So unsure which couple of drivers we're waiting for. And I think it should be a good race. Monza, always going to have good fun in turn 1. We've had, I believe it was Cole Paradox a few seasons back. No, I say a few seasons, a couple of years back, into Monza turn 1. I think that was something like Season 2 Round 4. So, long time ago. I completely missed his braking point and took out a few people. And actually I've already been suggested to keep an eye on Captain Nick, though he seems to be fairly good at keeping his nose clean of other drivers. And usually hasn't taken himself off the track. So yeah, just 2 more people yet to join the lobby. I should be able to check who that is. So we've got one of the Alpines and one of... no, we've got... There's a Williams now for Romeo. The 2 we are waiting for. I suspect the Williams is one of the reserves that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, Nolsey. So I don't know how much he'll be paying attention to the Discord, given the restart. Right, I am now seeing 20 drivers in the lobby, so once lobby settings are all correct, which I believe them to be, and everyone's selected their team, it looks like they're going to be given the go-ahead any second now. We'll see how they do. Of course, Monza known for its long straights, so driver's going to be running very little wing. Alright, and a quick reminder of the point system. So not a sprint race today, so it will just be that feature race. Top 12 points, 30 for the win, 24 for second, and 20 for the third spot on the podium, then all the way down to P12. Of course, it was a sprint race last week, which I was unable to attend, so I actually myself was at the Spa Grand Prix. Here we go, a short qualifying, 18 minutes to start us off, and then we'll see how it all ends up lining up. First season we've done short quali, possibly ever. No, it's now been done for 3 rounds. Still getting used to it a bit myself, as this is only the second commentary of the season I have done. Right, and here we go. Let's see anyone heading out on track. Not yet seen any movements in the garage. No, is that the little one? Also looks like I saw movement in Freefall's garage, or one of the other Scottish flags. Don't know how many Scotsmen we have on this grid, but I have been told it is going to be dry races. The little one, first man out on track behind him. Is that Captain Nick or is that McConey? One of the two Haas cars. It is McConey. Keep board with the little one. Now watch him go around the track and hop just above the cockpit before to watch his lap go round. See what he puts down. How quick the car's going to be. So Underboss giving some support to DC. DC usually does pretty well in Tier 2, certainly did strong last season. Currently he is sitting, where he's in the championship, all the way down to 15th. He's only got 13 points. So not a strong start to the season for him. Of course, still plenty of time, only 3 rounds done so far. Still 12 more to go, 2 of which being sprint races. There's extra 6 points you can pick up for winning that. But here we go, on board now with the little one as he's about to start the first flying lap of the session. Let's see what he can do. He's going to have quite a busy track ahead of him. At Monza, lots of straights, very easy for drivers to move out of the way if need be. These drivers are very good at not interrupting each other's laps. See, clattering over the curb, perhaps turning in a little late there, not using the curb as much as he should be. Now coming towards Curva Grande. We have an Aston Martin on the outside, Clerpiard there. Good, of course, going to be a purple sector 1. Really feels like, though, not using the track quite as much as he could be. Still trying to get, oh no, he has gone round. Yeah, didn't look very comfortable with the car. And that is the little one going round, and then so the first man, as far as I'm concerned, will be McConey to set a lap. Unless one of the others have snuck in front of him. We'll hop on board now with McConey then, see what he can do. Already seen one mistake here, not the easiest track in the world, especially with everyone running much lower wings than normal. Massive straights, you want as much speed as you can to get overtakes at that top end, maximise time, but you also got to be careful through the corners. The Sky will catch you out if you're not careful, and the Lesmos we saw caught out the little one. Go now into Parabolica. McConey going to put down the first time of a 1:20.5. See who can beat that. Now it's going to be, I think Cole Paradox will be the next man. Hasn't invalidated, so he will be the next man to the line. We'll see what he can do compared to McConey. Can he beat him? No, he's just behind, 1/10 down on Marconi is Strauss. Next man 1.2 off of the rest of them there. So he needs to try and find more time. Oh, Freefall's gone for a spin on a straight. That's a neat trick, as Carl's now gone fastest. And a reset track there from Freefall. Don't know if that was the game or him. Carl currently on provisional pole. Liam behind him. Liam, we know, a driver to keep an eye on. And as is Carl after he proved last week. Then KXI sitting just behind Leo here. Leo about to start his final lap as KXI finishes his and goes P2 down. He's just 8 thousandths behind Carl for the moment. Hop on board with Leo. You know, one of the faster drivers. He is of course leading the championship at the moment. You can see using more curb than when we're on board with the little one. Much more comfortable with the car, it seems. Really using the inside there. Maximising the track limits as much as he possibly can. As DC's picked up provisional pole somewhere while I wasn't watching. Ooh, Leo having a moment there. Managing to save, but this is going to damage his lap slightly. You know, get Underboss will be happy. DC's doing well. So 11 drivers set laps so far, though the little one gonna obviously want to set a lap that's clean. Leo's showing 2 purple sectors, so we'll see what he can do. It's a good exit to Ascari. Possibly could have got on the throttle fractionally early, but not by much there. And that's despite his mistake we saw in the chicane that I can never remember the name of. So here we go now, rounding the final corner. He is going to come towards the line to set provisional pole, a 1:19.7. He's got 3.5 tenths over the rest of the pack, and he'll be happy to have that gap. We'll see Jet, another man with a slow timing, invalidated this one. He will be coming into the pits now. Most drivers are just doing one and done. Oh, actually no, it seems Clerpion setting the second lap on his tyres, and he does improve, but only 3.5 tenths. And at the back of drivers have set decent times. Find anyone currently on a lap. Farrell on a slow one, I think possibly. Well, we've got Freefall on out laps, so stick on board with him. Don't believe anyone currently on a flyer. We'll see what Freefall can do. I was speaking to him before the race, and he said if he does end up DNFing, then he'll come join us in the comms box. So obviously he doesn't want that to be the case, but that will spice up the commentary room. You know, a very good commentator Freefall, currently doing tier 4. But here we go now, rounding the final corner to start his first lap. Looks like he does have a slightly cleaner track ahead of him than we've seen some of the other drivers have. All the drivers now coming out for the second lap. Also got Christo on a lap, who actually I think might be ahead of Freefall. Bit of a slow exit there, struggled to get on the throttle by playing it safe to avoid going for a spin. Towards the chicane, actually not caught out as many people as I might have suspected. These curbs can really throw you if you're not careful on the exit. We did see Leo have a moment on the exit of them, but well caught by him. Freefall looking strong so far. I can't claim to know what I'm looking for completely. Oh, there we go, moment there to maximise time, as all these drivers are miles better than myself at this game. Freefall looking fairly good so far, only one little wobble and a purple middle sector shown for him there. As he goes wide, and he's avoided invalidating. Now I believe that he should be lifting to not set his fastest time. Going over the track limits, but anyway, Freefall. We'll see where he ends up. Comes towards the line, and he is going to slot into P11 with a 1:20.6. We'll hop on board now with who else yet to set a lap. Tobes currently middle sector, or no, just starting the third sector. So he's exiting. Scari nowhere near as wide as Freefall there, staying well within the track limits. There we go, towards the line for Tobes. It's like he's right in the middle of the pack with a 1:20.4. You can see how close his times are. Just stick it on interval to get a closer look. You can see, apart from the top two, from Christo right the way down to Claire PR, that's only 4/10 between, it's that 12, or sorry, now 13 drivers. Very, very close field here. Not too many corners, only 11 corners on this track. So not many places to find time. It's Jet starting his lap. This will be his first good one without any mistakes in. Did not catch what caused him to have a slow one last time. I'll be hoping to improve on a fairly busy track. I'm not sure if that's Cole Paradox or Hobbsy ahead of him. Appears to be Hobbsy going slow, staying well out the way of Jet. There we go, not using the curbs excessively, but still carrying some decent pace through. There's KXI now also into the 1:19s, a 1:19.9 as Liam also a 1:20 flat I've missed. And DC, no, he's now back the front row. Was in P2 before, he set another lap and got back into P2. Now, all of a sudden, Leo's 3.5 gap to the rest of the field, down to just over a 10th. But he has only set a 1 lap so far. Still plenty of time to improve. 7 minutes left of the session. Here we go now, Jet setting a 1:20 flat and is slotting just ahead of Liam into P4. And why is that's Cole Paradox entering the pits? Stick on board with Hobbsy. No, he's done a slow lap, he must have made a mistake somewhere. So find Knowlesy should be on the lap. One of 3 drivers yet to set a lap. Might risk coming up on an AlphaTauri here who's gone for a spin. I didn't see which car that was, whether that was Carl or Leo. Should have a quick check to see if it was Leo. It was Leo. So for no reason Leo spinning and yes, pushing a bit too hard at the Scari. Knowlesy now setting his first lap and he's gone P13 with a 1:20.5. Right in amongst the pack. I mean, they're all so close together there on those mid to low 1:20s. 2 drivers still not even yet set a lap. Captain Nick and Big Balls. I do wonder if they have qualifying bans. I will quickly check that. So I do vaguely remember seeing something like that. Right, what are we? Yep, so Captain Nick does have a qualifying ban. Uncertain about Big Balls, but he seems convinced he does. That's Club PR improving up to P14, and he is 3,000th at a 4-star. Now let's see if we find anyone on a lap for free fall on a slow one. Anyone on a quick one? Carl appears to be, he's 2/10 up first sector, 4/10 up after the second sector. That looks to put in him about P3. They've still got another sector to try and push Dane even more time. Entering the last corner, got a bit early on the throttle, delay when he got in it all the way because of it towards the line, and he is in the 119s, the 199, and as I said, P3 for Carl. Just 4 minutes left on the clock. He's going to be towards the front end of the field now. So Strauss 2/10 in the first sector, but I suspect there was mistakes somewhere, giving you 6/10 off the rest of the pack, with himself only spread by 9/10 from first all the way down to 17th. While I'm watching this lap, Strauss has lost some time in the middle sector. Going to have a look, see what it was that got Nick. Oh right, it was an on-track retirement that got Nick. His qualifying ban. And then we had a very tricky race round into Lagos. A lot of drivers further back struggling. And Strauss at 1:20.8, and he does seem to be quite a way off the rest of the field, really struggling here. It's the closest driver to him, free fall. Now, well, he was a bit more than 1,000th green, but the 1,000th green looking to improve still. Oh, I say that, he goes around. That's free fall. Actually, I think he saved his front wing there. But his tyres aren't going to be best pleased. Now, I think he's not going to have enough time to pit for fresh tyres. So he's forced to just go again, do the best he can on his probably now quite hot tyres. At the moment, he's looking at risk of starting P17. No, that is a driver coming into the pits, so free fall, I suspect, will not be improving. He does not have time to change onto new tyres. Oh, he might. It's going to be very hit and miss for him. Speedballs is now on his out lap, so maybe he doesn't have a qualifying ban. I knew that Nick did. Right. Big Balls, no, does not have a qualifying ban, just yet to set a time. So he's essentially leaving himself one shot at this. We'll have to keep on board with him then. See how he handles the pressure of that. I think it was him in previous seasons where he used to wait till last second to go out for a quali lap, so maybe that's just his style, he prefers it that way. Had yellow flag, I think that is just a Ferrari going slow as Strauss has retired in the pit lane, does not expect he can improve his lap, and I think he's really going to struggle in this race to find time. Tobe's in P2, when did that happen? Not a man you usually see that high up the leaderboard, but Tobe's going to be very happy with that. Just a couple of hundredths off Leo up front. Leo not doing well his second lap. Well, first lap provisional pole, but his second lap spun out the exit to Ascari as Big Ball's now starting his one and only qualifying lap. There's 1 minute left on the clock and all drivers starting now will be on their last lap. See how he does. I can't say I know what a good sector 1 time is, but he has gone purple, 21.6 in the first sector. A little deep into the chicane there though. It's going to cost him a tenth or two, but luckily not a big straight on exit, so you don't lose quite as much as you otherwise could. This next corner really mattering though. Tobe's now in the pit and he will not be improving. Only 10 seconds left of the session. Is that Leo round again? I guess it could be Carl, as we've just had Liam jump up to P3, the end of his lap, pushing DC down to 4th. I think DC is currently on a lap. Let's see where Big Balls can go in. Can he shake things up? Where's he going to end up? He is P5, pushing down Kyle. I know it was Leo who spun again, and Ascari's jet goes fastest at 1:19.6, the first one of those we have seen today. Let's see who we can find on a lap. Christo, still quite a bit of his lap to go. Clerpiart about to get to the line. I didn't see if he improved or not, but currently 13, is that Knowlesy next, or is he going into the pits? No, I think Knowlesy just dumped up to P11, a 1:20.1, as Christo has invalidated his lap. Kyle coming towards the line, can he improve? Found 100th, but not enough to gain him any positions. Just 13 thousandths off of Big Balls, and I think that concludes our qualifying with Jet and Leo getting the front row. Very good result for Alfa Romeo with the P1 and P3 in qualifying. Yeah, you can see just how close those time gaps are. Barely anything separating those drivers, averaging about half a tenth per driver. Jet going fastest, Leo just behind him. Tobe surprisingly high, I think he'll be very happy with that. Then further down, of course, we had Captain Nick with his qualiband to serve. Yeah, less than a second separating 18 drivers, and even Strauss not too far off the rest of the field. Now Strauss, not usually a good qualifier, but race pace does seem to be a strong suit, certainly last game. So I suspect we'll see him gradually creeping up the pack. Not a slow driver by any means. But yeah, all the drivers now preparing themselves mentally for turn 1 at Monza. You always got to be so cautious. You do not want it going wrong. And yeah, just Tobe's currently P18 in the championship. So for him to qualify where he did, miles and miles ahead of what you might expect. But I think we'll see a good performance from Strauss today, from where he's going from. Given it's a dry race, I would be amazed if he won. But of course, high risk safety car. Lap 1 and a free tyre choice here. See a lot of drivers starting on the hards. Maybe, I guess, 3 or 4 starting on the mediums. Jerome saying Farrell easy win. If Farrell wins this tier, I'll be very impressed, because I'm pretty sure he's racing in tier 1, but yes. So now drivers choosing their setup. Of course, you do not want the wrong setup round Monza. You'll lose huge amounts of time on the straights. Freefall saying pressure qualifying was getting to him a bit. But now just 17 seconds till they start the formation lap. We'll see, got to try and find good camera angle for the start of the race, because quite often it'll give you a really awkward one. Might just have to hop on board with Captain Nick right at the back and see the carnage that he sees. But of course there is a chance it'll just be completely clean to turn 1, you never know. But Monza, you're lucky to have that, even with 20 competent drivers on the grid. We'll see here. Now that is a brave choice from Liam. I completely underestimated how many drivers starting on the mediums. So Liam the only man on the softs, and that is a brave choice, perhaps hoping for a safety car. But then what we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drivers on the mediums. So then that will be just 9 starting on the hards. And I think, yeah, Dragon, I agree with you. Strauss and Freefall really going to shake things up from about there. I think once Freefall gets into the rhythm of the race, you'll see him gaining positions. I'm very interested as to what Liam does. He might go straight into the lead by the end of lap 2 or 3 on those tyres. Then they're not going to last him too long. Perhaps intended for a 2-stop instead of the usual 1-stop. Given the high risk of safety cars, that very well could be the right play here. we're waiting. I'll see if my co-coms is anywhere near getting back. This jet coming towards the grid. And hang on, who's that back there? One of the Alpines. Nolozy or DC? Either way, Captain Nick should be a fun one to watch as well. Got free fall, using the grass a little bit there to have a cool off his tyres. Jet pulling on to the grid, all the drivers now starting to line up. So really making sure they got nice warm tyres before this race starts. Everyone going to be very, very cautious coming towards this grid. Do not want to push too hard. Oh, there we go. Cold Paradox and Nolozy, I think, have managed to bump into each other there. It's the last drivers pulling onto the grid. And here we go, oh no, not lights out yet. Can't see the lights from here. And there we go, lights out and away we go. Jet on the outside, looking to be a good start. Leo losing, oh no, Leo has pulled alongside into turn one, and I think we'll see Leo go for the move here. Liam just behind as Leo goes a little deep. Look at the absolute carnage behind, but no one actually crashing despite going 3 wide through the first chicane at Monza. And yeah, I think all 20 drivers made it through safely. How about that? There's Jet already down 2 positions. Liam up 2, but of course he is starting on the softs. So that would have been his plan. The little one up 7 positions already. Flying up the field as we've had a crash at KXI. And possibly someone else. No, free fall. Going slow but not as far back as KXI. Looks to be just a yellow flag as the racing continues further up the order. DC to get past Jet, struggling on the hard tyres a bit it seems. It's supposed to be the quicker strategy, so we are going to lose out to the guys on the mediums, and especially if someone's gone for the soft set. Jet going a bit deep, of course not going to be used to the hard tyres, especially after the qualifying session. Now DC pulled alongside, deploying his ERS. Got the inside line into turn 1. But it looks like perhaps Jet less wings on his car, so able to get pull straight line speed on DC and maintain that P3. DC looking to get past again, this time on the outside of Curva Grande. Trying to go the long way around using his ERS, but he's not gaining just yet. I think he's again going to have to just sit behind in that P4, maybe save up more ERS for an attack later on. Play the long game. Remember, there's 27 laps, so why rush? And you've only finished 1 so far. Rest of the field all very close together. Captain Nick is up a few positions. Hobbsy further down, right on the tail of Clerpiard. Tobes, not the best start by him. He's down 4 positions. From, what was it, 3rd to 7th, both Alfa Romeos actually going backwards. We've got a yellow flag, and that is Carl out of the race. Where's he? It must have been caught on the curb on the exit to Ascari, and that is that a VSC or is that just a yellow flag? It never seems to tell you, you've got to figure it out for yourself. No, that says VSC, so yep, is a VSC. I think we will see Jet coming to the pits here on his, wait no, who's on the softs? There's a Liam, but no, Liam's staying out on his soft tyres. I guess the field not spread out enough for his liking. All 19 remaining drivers are staying out on track. And this might give Liam another chance to get Leo. He wanted to get past as soon as he can, not get stuck behind a driver on the mediums. And there we go, racing back on. And Liam, a very good run. Actually slower exit there, Leo. I think perfect speed to just take that corner nearly flat. That's the slight lift on the apex. Liam now closing down with that DRS, deciding not to go for the move, but just put in as much pressure as he can, reminding race leader where he is, but no, mistake there. Now I think we're going to see himself get overtaken here. You can see a queue of cars lining up behind him as there's the yellow further back, and that is for the little one who had such... I think he had a good start, I can't remember what the order was. In the end, side by side, Big Balls on the outside of Jet, and Big Balls, he's done it, ran the outside of Parabolica, and the little one right down to P18, and that is not looking good for Ferrari so far. See this battle for P2 still going on. Actually quickly becoming a battle for P3. Jet doing a very good job on the hard tyres. He's going to have a hard time defending. But we know he's got pace. Oh, a very, very deep Liam there. And that's giving Big Balls a chance to get past him on the inside. Looking for the move, they touch. Ooh. Ooh, Big Balls lucky to not DNF there, but he has completely lost his wing. That's not great for either driver. There's a high chance we will see that one appear in the instant reports. Here we go, Big Balls now going to have to ease his car back to the pit lane. He's going to need a new front wing. It's Nolsey now looking to get a place. That Alfa Romeo got a couple of positions back after that incident. Leo now got a huge gap over the rest of the pack. There's DC on the outside of Jet, and it looks like he's got the move done. As Jet tries to get him back, but no. There's DC up into second position. And that's a yellow, and that's Farrell. Farrell off. He is on hard tyres. So I guess. What am I doing? I completely forgotten how to use the controls temporarily. My brain died. Okay. The Farrell way down P18 now. After that, and we've had, what was it, bottom 16 drivers. Sorry, 16th and down, all made big mistakes, but the field now starting to spread out. So we've got another yellow flag, and that is for Big Balls in the first sector. I don't know what he's done there. It's 4-star looking to get past Christo. Christo defending on the hard tyres. 4-star actually deciding better of it. He wants to get the move done on the straight, possibly the right decision. As Leo again, another fastest lap, 2 laps in a row now. Now he's got that clean there, he can just start pulling away from the rest of the pack. It's 4-star flying past up into P7. As Christo tries to get him back in the braking, but a little bit too far back. It's Captain Nick and Clerpiart side by side here. This should be an interesting one, a little bit of contact, but not enough. Clerpiart in the end completing the move. And be careful of Hobbsy on his tail. Ooh, good. Don't know what Captain Nick did there. I think very strange mistake. That has allowed Hobbsy to get up into P11. I guess Hobbsy won't be complaining about it. Now Nick looking like he's trying to get him back. I certainly see him right on his rear. Oh, Hobbsy, he's gone round, perhaps so distracted by Captain Nick's unusual mistake. But he's dropped right the way down the field. That is him down to P18. Good. Now more spread out. In fact, have a look. Yeah, obviously now maybe 25 seconds behind the leader. Is that a mistake by DC, or is he just... I'm not sure that was a bit weird. But here we go, this trained fairly close for P2, P2 down to P6. Excuse me. Coney at the back of this. All these guys on mediums apart from Jet at the front, which I guess why this train is forming. Had a yellow flag further down, the 4th position upon who again has gone round. That chicane. All those drivers further back now might be hoping for a safety car. We've had a VSC and car went off. Now Jet's gone round. On those hard tyres at Ascari, catching out a lot of people on the exit of that corner. He's dropped right the way down. Where's he going to end up? Looks to be about P16. End up sitting P15. Now Knowlesy considering the move too far back, and Captain Nick's had a mishap. And he's in the gravel on the exit to Parabolica. Suspect that would have been another driver involved with that one, so you have to be really pushing too hard. And all you've got to do is lift a little bit with Captain Nick now, down to P18. And free fall we saw started really far down the order. Now it's P11, he would have been one of the bigger gainers here. Up 7 positions, as is Strauss, and not as much as McConey, who's up 11 positions. Into P5. McConey's on a roll here. From what I've heard, hopefully rotation will be joining in the commentary box in the next 5 minutes. Tobes trying to hunt down that. Is that a Williams car? Yeah, actually he's in a Williams sandwich at the moment. This free fall's got Liam pressing the wrong buttons into the final corner. Now I think Liam going to try and get him back on those softs, which will be starting to age a little bit. Considering the move, deciding to sit behind, and I think those softs now going to be slower than the medium tyres. They've had their use. Liam's mistake earlier not going to help him massively. Ooh, now you can see him there struggling. Had to catch the car, did a good job of it. Possibly picked up a warning, but certainly lost a second of time there. You can see him struggling on these tyres now. Actually just choosing to move over for his teammate. And the next cars we've had, is that a Hobbs mistake this time? He lost with the cursor at the side. I think it may have been Hobbs' mistake in the first thing, is Liam dropping way down the order. I don't know if he's damaged somehow or if his just tyres have dropped off a cliff. But really struggling now. Here we go, Farrell now coming up on him. I think we're going to see Liam pit for new tyres or pit to retire. Keep an eye on what he changes on to. Liam going on to some fresh mediums now. Pretty much confirming that he is on the 2-stop. He will be another driver hoping for a safety car somewhere along the line. Gap between DC and Leo not actually increased too much, but is up to 4.4 seconds. Both those two drivers are in clean air, though I say that Tobes only just outside the DRS range of DC. Here we go, and actually I think Tobes may just picked up the DRS. No, not quite. He is within the second now, but he wasn't at the detection zone. So very well played by DC. He is losing time anyway, but Nolsey looking to get the move done on Tobes. It looks like he has into the inside. Surely he can cut him off here, and yep. That is Nolsey up into P3, Tobes down to P4. Two fighting behind him, McConey and Forster. Close between those three, a second separating the three cars. Hobbsy getting some support. Hobbsy not having the best race here. Struggling quite a bit so far. The race not even half done. Still plenty of time for things to be shaken up. The moment Leo commanding the race, as DC had a bit of a poor lap. Lost quite a bit of time here. Only getting the so much powerful slipstream there and actually nearly rear-ending Tobes, having a bad exit to the corner. Four-star not close enough to capitalise. Close enough to make him have a good look in his mirrors. So Leo again, fastest lap. So maybe it wasn't DC who was going slow, but Leo was just going that quick. A gap now up to 6 seconds between the top two. So Nolsey has closed up to his teammate McConey here, looking for a move on Tobes to the first chicane, deciding better of it sitting behind. McConey here really needs to work on his corner exits. He keeps on pushing into the corners and then going slow out, but oh, Tobes a moment there, and that's enough to give McConey the speed advantage to get the move done, and that is McConey up into P4. Free fall pit, Hobbsy now also pitting. There we go, McGoatney. Battle for P4 really heating up and actually allowing Nolsey to pull away slightly. We've had a yellow flag sector 1 and that is free fall on his fresh hard tyres. He's gone round. Oh, we've had someone else go round. Which driver is that? I cannot tell. We had a brief yellow. I think that may have been, was it Cold Paradox? I'm not sure. Someone brought out a yellow on the exit to Ascari, as we now have Leo the leader pitting, as is McConey. Nolsey, DC and Tobes staying out. Of course, the hard run is also going to be mostly staying out on track. Four-star, the other one pitting. And there's a few more gaps in the field. Driver's going to have more clean air to work with. Obviously a bit of a slow exit there, not cost him too much. It's Clerpiart and Cold Paradox side by side for the moment here. Looks like Clerpiart has been overtaken though, not quite able to hold it alongside. Cold Paradox up into P5. And as of yet, no track limit penalties. But I think that's not too surprising given Monza. If you go over the track limits, very likely to spin, which we've seen happen plenty of times so far. I'm really struggling to keep up with Cold Paradox here. Already dropped back 3/4 of a second behind him. Slightly better exits. There's these three close battle for P7. KXI, Jet and Strauss here. All of them within DRS, all of them on the hard tyres. But just behind them, Leo on his fresh hard tyres. Not made the same mistake as a couple of other drivers spinning on their fresh hards. And I think we might see him go pretty quickly through this battle, as now DC and Tobes are pitted on their old mediums. Knowlesy now the only man who started on the mediums to still be on them. Jet up into what is now P5. Sure, Leo getting a good view of this battle up ahead of him. Knows soon that he'll be joining and hoping he'll be able to move through it pretty quickly. Is currently net P1. And he's proven to be one of the fastest drivers on the circuit. Really see how much he gained through there, now down to within half a second of Strauss. I think we might even see him move into Scari if he gets a good exit here, which is certainly a good entry. That's how he wants to do the corners, using his ERS. He's got his DRS to work for him. He's a bit too far back, you can see, yep, the way he chose to save his ERS. Slightly better of the move there. Now he's going to do the best he can to get the perfect exit. He looks like he's lined him up perfectly here. Able to get alongside just after the exit to Ascari, and that is textbook work by Leo, current championship leader. So he moves up into P7 past Strauss. Actually soon, oh, yellow flag for, who is that? Is that 4-star, and that's Freefall and Hobbsy. Hobbsy's out. Hobbsy is out of this race, and I do wonder, is that a safety car? Well, that is a safety car. A full-on safety car has come out on track. So Freefall here perhaps saved. So Hobbsy is out of this race. Now we'll see all the front runners, especially Knowlesy, coming into the pits. So we're going to see a wave. I suspect we'll see the vast majority of cars coming into the pits 14 laps down. I don't know why I say in 15. Not sure who started lap 15. Unless I can't count. But either 13 or 12 laps remaining for the drivers. No, just 12 laps remaining for the drivers. 15 down. So actually mediums will go to the end here for the guys who started on the hards. And Knowlesy perhaps at a disadvantage. Interestingly choosing the soft tyres. I have to see how that works for him. I made the same decision as Freefall further back down the order. Yes, if it is only 12 laps, they're more comfortable taking the softs than the hards. They think they'll have more pace, able to move up through the field and hold their position. Leo, of course, already had his pit stop, and we said he was net P1, showing it here. He's sitting out behind that Aston Martin safety car. And yeah, Hobbsy said, well, that's not gone very well. The safety car I needed, I caused. Of course, yeah, that far back. A lot of the drivers very happy, a few others indifferent, some not particularly happy with the safety car. That is the way racing goes. And there's exactly where he expected to be. Only difference is slightly closer to the other drivers, and might actually be overtaken by Knowlesy for a little bit. He knows by the end of the stint should have the advantage. Of course, there is still the laps under the safety car to consider. Freefall being so far off the rest of the pack, there's the chance we might not come into the end of lap 17, which would mean just 10 laps of racing. In fact, no, we won't come into the end of lap 17, possibly even 18. So there will be 10 or 9 laps of racing, but all 3 different tyres are out on track, especially those softs at the back. This should be very interesting. 12 drivers getting points here. But so far Leo completely dominant. So free fall. Is he going to catch up by the end of this lap? This remains to be seen. I think he will just, it's right at that limit, but you're not quite sure. The guys in the softs will be hoping he doesn't. The guys in hards, hang on, has Cold Paradox gone for a spin hit? Do we see a front wing, or is he just... Can't see a front wing on track. So that is not particularly ideal for Cold Paradox, who's dropped down to 16th on the mediums. Not sure what caused that. If that was another driver or just him going over the curbs a bit too much. That's dropped him down quite a few places. Did not know, didn't see where he was before. I can quickly check. Oh, he's right up in 8th position, so that's not great for him. Yeah, dropped a lot of places. Do wonder what caused that. We've not had the safety car in this lap, so we are going to be going under safety car for yet another lap, but it'll be coming in at the end of lap 18, and that means just 9 laps of racing, giving those guys on soft tyres that extra advantage. This final stint, it'll basically be a sprint to the end. Drivers on hard tyres will suffer from that a little bit, but I think the mediums might be the ones to go for, though Liam on those 8 lap hold mediums. Maybe they're not too good, as Big Balls and Freefall pitting further down the order. That's interesting. Fresh set of softs for the both of them. Just deciding the less wear the better. Unless they're trying to deliberately extend how long the safety car's out for. I suspect it'll be coming in no matter what this lap anyway. Cold Paradox going slow. Not quite sure why he's doing that. Might have made sense for him to pit for softs. Here we go, 18 laps done. That leaves us with 9 laps left. And the boys on the softs are going to be smiling here. Perhaps Leo's perfect race all going to fall apart. And there we go, there's that safety car in this lap. We'll hop involved in Nolsey on those soft tyres, just behind Leo. Wait, you know what's happened back there? Changed order. So here we go. Don't think Leo can go quite yet. The safety car not quite far enough round. But Nolsey, I do wonder actually if Nolsey's on pad the way his wheels moving here. Leo not going just yet, but he's going to go soon, and he has gone. And I think he's done a good job of that. Already pulled a bit of a distance. And DC caught out even more. There's McConey almost immediately going to be passing Christo side by side across the line. And looking to get him into turn 1. Not going to happen in the end. Further back you can see Tobes and Forstart. It's a little one. First driver to pick up some penalties here. And into turn 1. A bit of chaos, a bit of bumping. Oh, we do have a spinner. That McLaren further down the order. That is Cold Paradox again. More bad luck for the McLaren driver. McLaren not having a good weekend here. Nolsey now going to start hunting down for the lead again. Oh, and what has happened here? We've had a huge collision between 4 drivers. So that Big Balls, Farrell, Freefall and Nick. I do wonder what caused all that. They caught out 4 drivers with whatever that collision was. Here we go, Christo on the inside of DC on those hard tyres. Gets that move done nice and easy. DRS not re-enabled yet, that'll come next lap. At the moment, just rely on that slipstream to do the best work it can. Knowles still not past Leo. The longer Leo can defend, the easier it'll be to defend. DC looking to get Christo, deciding better of it, just sitting behind. Actually looks like Leo doing a good job of defending on those tyres. Hards barely going to be hurting after 7 laps. Of course, the fact that Hards is the worst fact. So we see a mistake by the little one. Jet capitalising on that, moving up into P10, getting the last few points. Ferrari currently going to pick up 1 and 2 points respectively. Just going a little deep. Of course, actually, DC in a fairly good position here because while he's using the hard tyres, as are the 3 drivers behind him, almost a bit of a wall there for him. There's Knowlesy now on the outside of Leo into Parabolica. And I think Leo is just fending him off, but I wonder if Knowlesy will get a fast exit. Now, just behind him, no DRS this straight, but there will be once he gets into sector 2 of this lap. And Leo, the inside line here, if he does this right, he should be able to cut him off. Knowlesy perhaps going a bit deep, but no, just remaining perfectly alongside. Leo on the outside, they're getting a better exit, and Christo now behind the 2 of them. And we're looking to see if one of them makes a mistake that he can jump on. But no, Knowlesy again looking for the move. Out up the inside, he might have the tyres, but no, actually decides to not go for it. That's interesting. You'd have thought on those tyres he could have just gone for it. Tried to clatter over the curb, in the end, backing out. He needs to stop going for moves that aren't going to work. He needs to save his ERS for when he can deploy it. Get that overtake done sooner rather than later, otherwise his tyres are going to start hurting. For now, Leo maintaining that P1. Basically commanded all race. Started on the medium, went onto the hard, held net P1, and then safety car coming out, everyone pitting, getting back into the lead. Now fending off Knowlesy on the softs, and it is looking very, very strong for him. I think here, despite the tyre difference, a better exit for Leo. And we're more likely to see an overtake, perhaps done by Christo here. The gap now closing up. Leo choosing to take the racing line this time on the outside. Knowlesy considering it but deciding better of it. Knew that was a closing door. Doesn't go for it in the end. And soon these mediums are going to become stronger. Then that soft and the little one. And Jet. Oh no, hang on. Jet's gone for a spin, I think. Don't think the little one has, but certainly a few position changes going on further down the order. And side by side here into this chicane, Clerpiard, Liam, and somehow neither of them spinning there, maintaining side by side, now going into 3 wide into the first Lesme corner, and that is very brave. The Aston Martin and Clerpiard losing out, Liam on the outside, getting past the both of them, I think. And that was the little one ending in 8th position. And what a few corners of battling that was. Now the little one coming in for another one, not having DRS, he was behind at the detection zone. On the outside, going into Ascari, and the little one back up into 7th position. With Liam dropping back down to 8th. And more carnage, and that's the Red Bull of KXI going around. And gets KXI off into the wall. That's probably the end of his race. Just 5 laps remaining. This battle still ongoing, and they touch the Ferrari and the Ferrari and the Mercedes. And this little one and Liam, their battle got a bit too heavy, and there's someone else as well. That's Captain Nick's gone round. And that's just a yellow flag, but my goodness. And there's an Alpine as well, foul. Everyone's going off this lap. A few drivers pitting for front wings. Let's try and find some more cleaner battling. We've got some people further up as while that's going on. Knowlesy did take the lead off of Leo, I suspect, into turn 1. But now, with Leo right in his tail, he's going to have DRS. And I don't think there's tyres. Oh, yeah, no, Knowlesy hurting on the old soft tyres almost immediately, as I say. Dropping down into P2, and everything is kicking off in these last 5 laps of the race. His front 5 drivers all well within DRS range. Plenty of overtaking opportunities as Christo looking to go for a move into Ascari, and I think Nolzi on those old softs. Ooh, and he's hit off, forced to just completely cut Ascari. Drops down, hopefully Forstart not caught out too much by this. Forstart yet moving over, and Nolzi rejoined the track. Of course, Forstart getting ahead in the end. Now McConey looking to get past DC. McConey, really strong race so far. We'll see what he can do. Now Christo looking to get past Leo, and actually on those mediums they might be stronger than the hards for the moment. And it is all absolutely kicking off in these last few laps. Here we go, KXI getting the fastest lap right down from P16. He's just behind Fowl further down. This battle for the lead, still 4 drivers involved. 4 drivers, only 3 podium positions, and of course only one of them will win the race in the end. At the moment, still looking like it's going to be Leo. Christo will do everything in his power to try and make sure it is him that gets that win. DC just behind, see, get a better exit. Looks like he does. DC very low on ERS. Actually, Leo appearing to have the best, and Coney's got less than all of them. Coney going a little deep. It's going to cost him on exit. Pulled along DRS. You're not seeing a move from him this lap. Down to the front 3 drivers is KXI picking up 3 seconds of time penalties. More drivers further down the grid doing so. You see in the background, Nolzi getting past Forstart. 4 P5. Nolzi on those soft tyres. We saw side by side with, I think it was Christo, into Ascari. Got shuffled wide. Had to go across the grass and ended up back into P6. They now got back past Forstart. 4 P5. And now 3 laps remaining as Tobes getting the fastest lap on fresh softs. Easy and completely clean there. All he can do is take away that fastest lap from the rest of them. Tobes qualifying, I think it was P4. And now way down 17th position. Not the race he wanted to have, especially after that qualifying. Jet getting ahead of Strauss. A spin from Farrell further down in P16. Still not really any shuffling and moves in the top few drivers. Christo's tyres, though, not going to last infinitely longer. I think it may have been lap 11 when we saw the first medium driver choose to pit. As that is a yellow sector 1. I'm not seeing what that's for. Oh no, yellow sector 3. The little one into the pits. What's he doing? KXI also into the pits. Maybe they're all just having a push for fastest lap. With only top 12 getting points, any of them stand a decent shot at it. So I think as long as no one makes any big mistakes, the top 12 fairly set. Liam and upwards, free fall. 10 seconds off the rest of them, but this battle for the lead is still ongoing. So many points to play for. Here we go, coming down to Parabolica for the penultimate time. Leo still looking in complete control of this race. Fought off Liam earlier, fought off Nolzi for a bit on the softs, now fending off Christo on the mediums. And despite the DRS, despite the ERS, Liam still 50% of his ERS left. Complete control here as McConey has made a mistake, dropped off this train a little bit. We've got? Is that a mistake by Freefall down in 13th? And Ascari, no points to contend for there. Just a bit of pride. I think Clerpiart did get past Jet for P7. Now the top guy is really starting to spread out a bit. No one within DRS, it's more the back runners making mistakes. Tobe's now going round at Parabolica. I think this and P5, the last real positions of contention. We'll see Farrell picking up 10 seconds of corner cutting. I think actually just must have cut turn 1 then. Initial chicane. But we will hop on board with Leo as he's had an absolutely dominant race here. Led every stint, fought off everyone who came at him. And in the end, he's going to have a 2-second margin as he crosses the line to win the Italian Grand Prix. Cristo just behind him. And DC, McConey, 4-star, Nolzi. How about this behind? Can Jet get Clerpiart in the end? No, he cannot. Clerpiart fending him off. Strauss, Cole Paradox. Big Balls, a bit of a gap down to Liam, but he will pick up that last 1 point. It's looking strong start for him, but in the end, 1 too many mistakes, costing him to drop right the way down the order. That is all points positions accounted for. So Farrell will be the next man with 10 seconds of penalties. He's actually going to drop a few positions here. Farrell and then Freefall, the little one, a weaving Captain Nick, a spinning Captain Nick, Tobes, and the last man is going to be KXI. We saw quite a few mistakes here. It's Captain Nick's kart. And there we go, that concludes the Italian Grand Prix. And what a race. In the end, McConey given driver of the day. And actually, didn't McConey start right the way down the order? Right, so here we go now for podium. I will try and get the guys on the podium in for an interview. But what an end to the race. That safety car really mixing things up. My screen's definitely glitched on that. That looked funky. So here we go, here is our final finishing order. Leo from P2 taking the win. In the end, not getting fastest lap because we had a load of drivers further down the order hunting for it. But then McConey from P16 all the way up to P4. Alfa Romeo's both dropped massively down the order. A few big gains, actually Strauss from P19 to P9. And the finishing order, to run through it quickly: Leo, Cristo, DC, McConey, 4-star, Nolzi, Clerpiart, Jet, Strauss, Cole Paradox finishing out the top 10, Big Balls and Liam finishing out the points, and Freefall, the little one, Farrell, Tobes, Nick, KXI, who did get fastest lap in the end, and then Hobbs and Carl not finishing. So we'll see if the drivers are willing to join. I know DC usually likes a good chat after the race, so we'll see if he ends up joining. Okay, right, DC has said he will be joining for the interview. He's had enough podiums, so he knows what he's doing to join us. We'll see if we can get Leo in. Yeah, he just... Well, looking at Leo's fastest lap was a second and a half quicker. Well, actually over a second quicker than anyone else in the top 7. And that's fastest lap during the race. So you can see his dominance there. So as of yet, no reply from Leo or Christo. I think Christo there, hang on. And I have a quick look at the standings prior to this race. So yeah, Christo way down in P17. So for him to pick up, was it a P2? That is 24 points, which given previously he was only on 10. Good result from him, increased his score by 3.5 points. Sounds like Christo is trying to join. He's trying to join the interview. Does not. Yeah, hasn't been told how to do it yet. Surprised DC hasn't stuck his head in yet. There you can see here, don't know the standings for after this race, but Leo is now going to be on 91 points. Liam in the end only picking up 1 point, so he's only going to be on 51. McConey actually, I reckon, will very easily hold on to that P. He'll jump up to P2 in the championship. Currently sits in P3, so that'll be him from 48 up to, what's that going to be, 65? Is my maths right? Maybe. I think he'll be on 65. That sounds about right. So Leo saying he's not going to come for interviews until he wins the championship, replicating what Nelly Safi did last week. Ah, DC. Have you been talking? Because I can't hear you if you have been.
I have not. No, I've been staying silent because I heard you talking to the screen. So.
Right. Well, congratulations on your podium. I'm not sure if you were expecting to get one or not, but safety car shook things up.
Not before the weekend. Not before today. But as soon as qualify, I think P5 to qualify. I feel like I had a good chance. Knew I wasn't getting the win because Leo's just next level. But it was a case of running in P2 for majority of the first stint. Thought my strategy may have just brought me into it, but then the safety car came out and I unfortunately got put into P3, and that's where I stayed. So just a case of making no mistakes and just finishing really.
Yeah, because further behind him, there's absolute chaos. I always forget the name of the chicane, but the one at the start of Sector 2, 4 cars, just a couple of laps after the safety car restart, managed to completely all somehow go really slowly and kind of throw each other about without taking any damage.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure as in the stewards we'll see what happened. There'll be plenty of pens, I'm sure. Is that Della Roggia you're talking about?
I think so. And actually something you might like to hear, you may have seen on track as well. Christo and I believe Nolsey went side by side into Ascari, and it looked like Christo might have pushed Nolsey wide, so that maybe you end up getting in P2 yourself. I don't know. I wasn't on board, so I don't know how.
Potentially, it was. Yeah, it just depends on the stewards. So I'm happy with the P3 no matter what. So
Yeah,
and anything else is just a bit of a bonus.
yeah, 20 points. You're only on 13 at the moment, actually, so that'll help you move right
I
up the
know.
order.
Best result of the season. I think that's my first top 5 of the season. So let's hopefully I can build on it.
Yeah. And then actually McConey's up to P2 in the championship, which is nice to see.
So definite strong runner. As you probably saw there, he was in my gearbox for the majority of that second stint. Made me rinse my ERS the whole time. It was a case of just trying to keep him behind me. Luckily, he made a small mistake, I think, on Parabolica on the second to last lap, which just meant I just had to keep it clean. But he's definitely one to watch. I think Leo's very, very, very good, but one mistake. McConey's got the consistency. Like I said, one race can change it all. McConey could potentially challenge for it this season. So
yeah. Well, I don't know if you'll be pleased to hear this or not, but Leo had 50% ERS crossing the line at the start of the last lap. So he really was in control. Completely owned the race.
He's a joke in this tier. He's just levels above everyone. I say that, but you do have people like Marty that missed out today that could potentially have challenged him for it. But it's a case of Liam Cross as well. Liam Cross has good pace. He could have challenged for it, but it's just absences and small incidents that mean he's there. So he's doing everything he has to. He's keeping himself up there, not making the mistakes the others are, keeping his attendance up, and it is looking like he's going to have a very strong season because of it. So.
Well, yeah, both Marty and Liam, well known for their quali pace, but actually not the most consistent drivers in the world. Can't remember if it was last season or the season before that Marty just always qualified right up front and then could not carry it through in the race to the end.
I think it has improved a lot this season. I mean, we've probably seen from other ones. I know he had a spin in another round, but he's a very quick driver. It's a case of you can't bank on him, spinning. He's going to be up there majority of the time. So
yeah, has already been a few reports thrown in, but I think I will let you go now. I don't know if you're going to end up watching Tier 1 yourself. I imagine that'll be starting around about now, actually. I'll start the link.
I'm gonna go jump in. Thanks very much for commentating.
Yeah, I'm
looking forward to watching it.
Thank you for giving me some company in the interview box.
Sorry the other two couldn't join, but I'm always happy to be here. So especially this season, not expecting to be up here. So I'll take it.
Yeah, you have a DNF. Feel free to just hop in the comms box for a bit.
Absolutely, mate. I'm always open to it. So yeah, absolutely. If it's ever me in the wall, you'll find me in here with you.
Yeah, well, free fall I've got the offer going to as well. So maybe you take him out and you can both come in for a laugh mid race.
There we go. And then if Hedge comes back, it'll be a quadruple comms team. We'll take that.
Right.
But thanks very much.
Yeah, congrats on the podium and thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Right, so there we go. That concludes interviews, and then next week, moving on to Suzuka. The race at Japan, much more likely to have rain there, I suspect. But in the meantime, highly suggest you go watch the Tier 1 race, which actually qualifying is just finishing now. So if you are still watching me, go away, go watch Tier 1. As they are finishing up qualifying. Looks like Rudy has got pole there, although Jerome, is he on a lap? I can't tell. Anyway, go watch Tier 1, but for me that is goodbye until next week at Suzuka.